Today we are going to be building a $528 content engine that completely replaces tools like Jasper, Copy.ai, and Scribe that charge you short of $100 a month just to be operative. And we'll completely do this and automate this with Claude and N8N. We can completely do this for $10, even less, maybe even 5 if you're smart enough with our funds. So let's get looking at how it works in the demo. All right, so here is the demo. Here is our completed agent, right? So the first flow is it would, on a weekly basis, the agent would get our favorite creators from the spreadsheet. So the first thing we need to do here is get the LinkedIn links of our favorite creators. And keep in mind, these would be creators you're gonna base your posts off or template your posts from, more like. So it's gonna, every week, it's gonna scrape some of our posts, get her best performing ones, etc. And we'll then be able to make our own posts off of it. So just get a spreadsheet with 4 or 5 of your best creators. Links are going to be Gazi, Alex Ramosi, and 2 other ones more relevant to my niches. And then would be aggregate it into a single list, and then use an API call to get posts. Get the highest like ones. This is completely optional, but I like to sort out and make sure everything is sorted just for organization's sake. And then I'll send all of the posts to my sheet. So they would come here, right? So it would then scrape the posts, and then would then have 3,000, sort them based on engagement. As you can see here, the highest liked one was by Alex Ramosi with 3,000 likes. Keep in mind this is likes. And then it would rate the post out of 10 based on its relevance to our personal brand. And then it would add the rating on this stage. So we always know that not everything these creators post will be relevant to our personal brand. Some will be better, some will be worse. So we want to be able to make sure that what we are taking from or what it's taking from will always be relevant to us, right? So then it will then get those posts again and then get the post with the 7+ rating. So we want to make sure we take the best posts, right? Nothing less. 7+ would be okay, relevant. So anything 6- to me would basically tell me that it's not that relevant to my personal brand. So I should be focusing on those that I know I can template from, I know would be able to bring value to my audience as much as possible. And then would then make our own posts from those, templating it from that post, right? And then this is completely optional, where it would then make the LinkedIn image and add it to our post sheet, right? So it would then make the post and then add that post to our sheet. So as you can see here, this is one of our posts. So it would then make us a media, which is a photo. This would be the photo from that. And then a hook, formatting, and then whether it was posted or not, right? So I'll get to that last part right now. So it would then, on a daily basis, get that post from my post sheet. And this is where it gets interesting. It will ask human to verify. It would send us a message on on Telegram, right, asking us to approve or disapprove the post. So we always want to make sure we have control over our personal brand. We want to make sure we know what we're posting, right? I personally don't think it's a good idea for you to just make an AI agent that completely works on your personal brand for you, and you not knowing what you're posting, forgetting about it for a couple of weeks, coming back and seeing you have no idea where you are right now and what you're talking about, right? So I always feel you've got to maintain that level of control over your personal brand. Know what you're posting out there, know what kind of an image you are creating for yourself, right? And then after you approve it, it will post it on LinkedIn and mark it as post. So under posted here, you'll see we have a drop down. We have posted, not posted, and disapproved, right? If I can, okay, let me just show you that. So not posted would be like this, right? And then disapprove. If you disapprove it, like over here, it would mark it as disapproved and move on to the next one in the list, right? So basically, if you approve it, it would post. If you disapprove it, it would not post and disapprove and move on to the next one. Now, keep in mind here that if you do not approve or disapprove, it's going to keep sending you the same post until you approve it or disapprove it, right? So let's make sure if you know you don't like it, you just disapprove it, and then the next day it will come to the next one, and so on and so forth, again and again and again, right? So yeah, let's look at how we can getting to making it. Now, let's make it, right? So over here, what we have is our spreadsheet, right? So what you're gonna need is you're just gonna need a Google Sheet node connected to your credentials, and first thing we're gonna do is connect it to our sheet document. No filters. You don't really need a filter right now. You just want to get all the creators and then aggregate them into a single list, right? Or keep them as individual fields, right? And then we're gonna be calling a API from Appify. So let me just show you. So this would be the scraper we're using on Appify. So how it works is you want to get the API client over here, copy it, make it a curl, copy paste that into the import curl, and then take the API endpoint, use run actor synchronously and get data set items, copy that and paste that into as the URL right here. And yeah, it should work that way. And then make sure you go to the API document, or you could just come here into the JSON and then see how it works, and then you can copy this and then paste that as the body. So over here we can clearly see that I'm sending in the LinkedIn URLs from this. So we want to make sure we're getting, it's going to send all those LinkedIn URLs, scrape all of them, and get us max 10 posts, all of them combined, right? And then this is more of a personal reference, as I said. We're going to want to sort it. So in our back end sheet, we know the first one would be the highest and the last one would then be the lowest in terms of likes. So we always just have that organization, and then it would send it to our sheets. That's where this sheet comes in, and it will send all that content over to us, including its posts, media such as pictures and documents, etc., etc. And then it will rate the post, right? We basically have it rate this post for virality, clarity, and storytelling out of 10 to the relevance of the founder, right? And then we have this prompt. This over here, I basically gave it all the information about me as the founder. Some of my previous posts, my unique positioning, what I do, who I am. So I just enjoy making sure that it has as much information on me as possible so that it can make the decision on what is relevant to me for my personal brand. And then that would then just add that rating to the sheet. And then obviously we have it scraping leads by the weekly, right? Let me just show you that if you can see that, right? So it scrapes posts that creators made from last week to this week, right? We don't want the whole month, we want the week, right? So I always make sure that the workflow works from Sundays only at midnight and then during the day as well, just so we have that working. And then the second flow would be to get the posts, right? We want to get all those posts that we got over here. And then now we only want to work with posts that have a 7+ rating. As I said before, this is mainly because we want to make sure that we only take the posts with the most relevance to our personal brand. Here we are making the content. Obviously, here is a user message. And by the way, I am using Claude for this, or Anthropic. So let me just give you the model. I'm using Cloud for Sonnet. Just if you all want to make sure you have the same model. And then we have some details here. I told it more about, again, who I am, who I am. So I just want to make sure that it knows. Here's information about brand and who he is, what he does, who I am, what I do, my voice and style, my content pillars, and my target audience, my beliefs, my signature phrases, right? So I just enjoy making sure I'm very meticulous about what I do. This is a simple thing. You're a brand and a content creator. Use information you can brand and use the post I provide as as inspiration, and Brandon's brand voice to create a new post. Your task: keep it original, don't copy phrases, follow the same structure, but align it with Brandon's niche and values. Match the tone to Brandon's. The target audience is law firm owners, agency operators, and or digital founders. Return new hook. My post suggested format and the suggested format in JSON. Obviously, we also have that formatting over here, just so we make sure it gives us the correct. And then over here would be the simple optional if you want media to be in there, if you want to post with a photo, or you want a AI to create the photo. This is going to be done using OpenAI's new image model. So you're just gonna need the URL and then your API. You can just get this in the documents in OpenAI, which would be simple. Just search OpenAI image generator. And then what we want is you want the API reference. And yeah, you just want to copy this curl post it there, and then you'd have that as your body, and then you'd want your prompt to be this. Your job is to create a single frame, high resolution cartoon style illustration, and then the style should be clean, bold, and easily readable in a LinkedIn feed. Avoid clutter, focus on storytelling. So I give it all the information on my post format, and my hook, and then tell it to generate an image, and I give it guidelines for it to generate my image on. So this makes sure that there is less time for mistakes, so it really knows what I want. And then we just want to convert that file. And then we just want to convert that file from base 64 string to a file, so we get the binary data, so we can then upload it into our Google Drive. And then obviously we're going to add it to my post sheet. So now this is where all your posts are. This is where all your posts are going to be, right? And then this is where this comes in with the daily. So we're just going to, again, we're going to read, get rows of the sheet. But here's the difference. Right now we're going to filter based on we only want those who are not posted. Sorry about that. I just noticed in the middle of my video that my lighting died. Hopefully it didn't decrease the quality that much, but I'm still gonna post this either way. So, yeah, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. So we're gonna post this daily, right? We're gonna get back into our Google Sheet. Come this time into my sheets, and this time we're gonna have a filter because we don't want to get all everything, right? We want to filter it based on what we haven't posted yet. We don't want to make the mistake of posting the same thing twice. That won't do. That won't work. That would be stupid, right? So we want to make sure that everything that is not posted goes in, right? So right now, then we'd have it ask humans to verify. This is where we will come in with the Telegram, right? It would send us this message, basically a simple message where it would send us the post and the media, and then it would ask us to approve or disapprove. Let me show you an example. Here's my Telegram. As you can see here, it gave me the post and then some of that media photo. I can go see the link of that post, simple enough, and then I can approve or decline. Simple. Now, in the case of my approval, it will post and then mark as posted, so it doesn't post it again. Remember, we have a filter here for not posted. So once it's posted, it's posted. Or if I decline, it would mark it as disapproved. You can clearly see here, we have not posted and disapproved. Once it's disapproved, it will come back tomorrow and ask us again about the not posted. Again, this is where the filter comes in. We're gonna make sure we don't post what we don't want and we post what we want, right? So yeah, that's simple enough, and that would be the entire agent. This would come in as a daily, so you'll be able to check on your phone, you'll be able to get a Telegram message. Simple enough, you'll be able to see that you'll see on your phone, you'll get a Telegram message, and you'll be able to see that you can approve or disapprove while in lunch or wherever you are during the day, and your personal brand grows with absolutely minimal effort from you. The only thing you really have to do is approve or decline, so you make sure you keep the adequate control over your personal brand while still having the power to automate. Now that would be all. The template for this agent will be in the description below. Please feel free to grab it for free, and yeah, I'll see you soon.